A failure of justice and a failure of democracy, says online Philippine news website Rappler, after Chief Executive Officer Maria Ressa was found guilty of cyber libel. Ressa and her news site have been the target of legal action and probes after publishing stories critical of Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte's policies. Following the sentencing, Rappler Chief Maria Ressa held a news conference where she urged journalists to fight for their rights. For more on what happened, we are joined by our correspondent, Bernal in Manila. Bernal, tell us more about the verdict delivered by the court and what we can expect to happen next.
Well, the Manila trial court sentenced Rappler CEO Maria Ressa, along with the Rappler researcher Reynaldo Santos Jr., who was the writer of the online article that is the subject of this cyber libel case, to 6 months to 6 years of imprisonment. But that is bailable while the case is on appeal. And yes, the accused still have legal recourse, that is to run to the Court of Appeals. And if that Court of Appeals affirms the verdict of guilt, they can still file a petition before the Supreme Court. Now, Rappler Incorporated, because the company itself was also impleaded in this case, was exonerated of corporate criminal liability in this cyber libel case. But the court did award the private complainant, Mr. Wilfredo Keng, of 400,000 Philippine pesos, or around $8,000 US in damages, and that will be paid upon the finality of the decision, meaning after the entire appeals process is done. Now, what's at stake here is the entire debate on whether the quoting or the referencing of Rappler's report to an intelligence document, an intelligence report, is something that they can be held liable of libel for. That report, published in 2012, supposes that the former late Philippine Chief Justice Renato Corona was using cars of personalities with, quote, shady past. And one of the personalities cited there is the private complainant in this case. But the court said that Rappler was not able to verify that intelligence report. The court said that press freedom cannot be used as a defense to shield them from this supposedly process of due diligence. Now, in a press conference after the court promulgation, Ms. Ressa said that this verdict negatively affects not just press freedom, but investigative journalism in particular, the kind of journalism that relies on confidential sources, often documents exclusively provided to you by whistleblowers. And this is also a sentiment that was echoed by the National Union of Journalists in the Philippines, various rights groups saying that this sends a dangerous message to journalists who are trying to hold power to account, who are trying to probe into the credibility of our leaders. It sends the message that once you do that kind of journalism, you are more vulnerable to attacks and more vulnerable to retaliation.